What is going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here. And today, we're going to be talking about how to beat the best monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right, I'm going to be telling you guys how to beat Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. What do you mean? This isn't about Ultimate Conductor Tyranno? It's the best monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, people want it banned for a reason, right? It's not? Then what is it? No, I got the purple background for Tyranno. What is going on with you guys? We're gonna do a video about how to beat Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon because trash players think it's better than Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, but whatever. But I am going to address the Red-Eyes Dragoon meta like no other channel has. I'm going to break it down in 3 simple steps. The first step is preventing the monster from being summoned. The second one is dealing with the monster while it's face up on the field. And the third one is strategies that are in Yu-Gi-Oh! That you can play to counter the entire strategy in itself. So without further ado, let's jump on in. Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon is a level 8 fusion monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. It's a dark spellcaster monster that effect reads, it cannot be destroyed by card effects or targeted by card effects from either player. Also, you can destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field and then inflict damage equal to its original attack, like, and the monster just goes bye-bye. Now, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon can use this effect up to the number of normal monsters used for its fusion summon. Let's say, for example, if you have a 3000 attack monster and a 2000 attack monster, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon can use this effect to destroy both of those monsters on the side of the field and inflict 5000 damage to you, and then the remainder of your life points will just be Red-Eyes Dragoon's attack points. As if it didn't get worse, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon also has another effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can discard one card from your hand to negate the activation, destroy it, and then Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon gains 1000 attack. This pretty much means if your opponent has 2 monsters with 2000 attack on their side of the field and tries to activate a card, well, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon can go for game. I can kind of see why players are looking for a way to beat this card. Most cards that negate the activation of card effects can typically be destroyed by card effects or be targeted, and also don't have a built-in Raigeki / Okazi-like effect that does things. Like, it's ridiculous. But look no further, we're going to be addressing the Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon in 3 different ways: how to prevent it from being summoned, how to address it when it's on the field, and also some good decks that have some amazing matchups against it. So without trying to drag this video out too long, I'm not dragging the video out, you're dragging the video out. So a quick way to beat the Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon strategy is to never let it be summoned. Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon is typically summoned through Predaplant Vert Anaconda, which effect reads, by paying 2000 life points and sending a fusion or polymerization card from your deck to the graveyard, you can pretty much gain its effects. Players will send Red-Eyes Fusion to the graveyard, which allows them to send a Dark Magician and a Red-Eyes B-Dragon from their deck or hand to the graveyard. Come on guys, you gotta say it with me. Dark Magician. Yugi would be proud, which allows them to summon this monstrosity to their side of the field. But that's actually the choke point. Being able to negate the Vert Anaconda will not only cost your opponent 2000 life points, but if they're running the standard engine of 1 Anaconda, 1 Red-Eyes Fusion, and the Dark Magician as well as the Red-Eyes, then their entire play is completely dead. And the cool thing about this is that there are already cards that are very popular in today's meta that completely countered Vert Anaconda. You should strongly consider playing cards like Cypher and your Gamma. This card is amazing in current Yu-Gi-Oh! Not only being able to negate your opponent's monster effects such as hand traps and whatnot, which allows you to play Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as give you 2 monsters to your side of the field, this card stops the Predaplant Vert Anaconda. Effect Veiler is also making way back into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Because monster effect negation is king right now, and it has a side effect of being able to stop the Anaconda. I mean, like, seriously, not even Nicki Minaj don't want none of this Anaconda, so being able to negate its effects is going to be critical. If your opponent has too many snakes on this plane, get it? That snakes on it, because it's, yeah. Then a third card that you guys could use against Vert Anaconda is Infinite Impermanence. Again, effect negation is king, and being able to negate your opponent's Predaplant Vert Anaconda, strong, because it leaves them with a 500 attack monster on the field. One thing I do want you guys to watch out for is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring does not negate Plant for Anaconda. It's a reason why this card just isn't that great right now, and this is one of the reasons. Plant for Anaconda sends to the graveyard for cost. Ash Blossom can only negate a card effect that includes the effect of sending from the deck to the graveyard, and that is why you can't Ash Blossom a Plant for Anaconda. Now, one would ask, Callie, what exactly do I do when my opponent already has this monster on the field? It can't be targeted, it can't be destroyed, and it can negate a monster effect once per turn. Well, I have a plethora of cards that actually play around Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. I'm gonna go ahead and list them off and then give you a brief description on what they do. You'll love some of these cards. Now, Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon cannot be targeted, but there's actually some competitive cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game that don't target. You're gonna have to bait out the effect of Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon's negation, but more often than not, if you're playing these cards inside of your deck, you have plenty of ways to be able to bait that negation before you follow up with a huge play. Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres will not only bounce the Red-Eyes Dragoon, but give you a free dragon monster. Ice Dragon's Prison can special summon Dark Magician to your side of the field and banish both the Dark Magician and your opponent's Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, isn't that great? Lib Keyblade Master is a lose situation for Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon because if you activate a monster effect as Chainlink 2 at the same time Lib is being sent to the graveyard, then your opponent can't respond to Lib and their monster will be shuffled back into the extra deck. Triple Tactics talent actually serves a purpose. After your opponent negates a card effect, you can completely take control of the Red-Eyes Dragoon. Well, you don't have to deal with it anymore, right? Dogmatic of Floridus is another card that does not target and can negate a monster effect on the field. Forbidden Drop also is a card that does not target. Your opponent can't respond to whatever you discard, so if you send a monster card from your hand to the graveyard, then Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon can't activate its effect, and the Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon's attack is halved, so it should be pretty easy to attack over it. Those are some more conventional cards that require a little bit more setup to be able to counter Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon, but now we're going to go into more cards that can counter Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon and also are really techy. Access Code Talker allows me to backtrack on techie because it's not really techie, but its summon effect cannot be responded to. If you can link summon into Access Code Talker, then I mean, you can just make it stronger than the Red-Eyes Dragoon and attack over it. Warlord Dragon is a tech card. Warlord Dragon actually snatches your opponent's Red-Eyes Dragoon and places it under your control, and your opponent will never get it back as it's sent to the graveyard during the next end phase. But the card that I really want to stress over, the super secret spicy attack, I bought a ton of these cards and it finally might be good, is Night Dracolich. Now, Night Dracolich effect is a continuous effect that always is applying, meaning your opponent can't negate it with the effect of Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Its effect reads that all monsters spell summoned from the main deck or extra deck are flipped face down, but it also has another great effect that monster effects lose their attack equal to their defense. Dracolich is strong enough by himself to be able to attack over Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. If you know your opponent isn't playing Dark Spellcasters, then Herald of the Abyss forces your opponent to send Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon from the graveyard as long as you declare Dark Spellcaster. Keep in mind, it's a Dragoon, not a dragon, so you need to declare Dark Spellcaster, not Dark Dragon. Funnily enough, my aunt used to call me the Dark Dragon, so there you have it, Team Evo. There's another Dark Dragon for you to talk about. Took you long enough. Now, I know I didn't say obvious cards like Lava Golem or Kaiju to be able to get over Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon, but it's mainly because I forgot to mention them until now. But those are still very viable cards to be able to beat over Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon to continue on with your plays. But now that we're done, we can talk about some really good strategies against the Dragoon strategy. Dinos are still the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Ultimate Conductor Tyranno does not activate the summon. Not only can you attack over Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, you can also attack Plant for Anaconda and effectively inflict 3,500 damage to your opponent by just using one monster. Mech Knights have an amazing matchup against Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Not only did your opponent help build columns by having at least 2 monsters on the field, one dedicated to the extra monster zone, Lib World Keyblade Master is insanely easy to play in this deck. Also, in the later games of attrition, having World Legacy Secrets on your side of the field makes it so your opponent can't summon Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon in every monster zone, or you can even respond by moving the appropriate Mech Knight to the zone of Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Orcas don't really have a problem with Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Long Girsu doesn't target, Thin Girsu doesn't target. Both of those monsters are really easy for Orcas to play, seeing that they are Orcas monsters, and easily get rid of Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Invoke Dogmatica is another strategy that just mainboards Flores, because that's not hard for them to do. They can also mainboard cards like Super Polymerization and not skip a beat, fusing both Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon and another appropriate card into Evoked Elysium, which is really good. Infernal Knight can just summon Phoenix Gearfree to their side of the field. And lastly to mention, just about any deck that can summon a monster over 3000 attack without activating card effects has an easy out to Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. I strongly suggest for whatever deck you are playing to strongly consider playing that super powerful beater monster that no one ever plays inside of the deck, if possible. Well, that's pretty much all that I have for the cards that you can use to destroy Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. Of course, there are tons and tons of other cards that you guys can use. I want you to post down below in the comment section what are those cards. Also, if you guys want to see a cool Dark Magician deck, well, there's one that uses Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. It could be a start if you want to play the cards yourself. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video.